Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of What's Brewing. Dear friends, patrons of C. Krishniah Chetty Group of Jewelers, today we are presenting you in this webinar that is titled Care for Gem and Jewelry Part 1. This is one of the two series. This is about a 75-minute session where we would listen to our experts. We have here with us our Managing Director, Dr. Vinod Highgrave, Director, Mr. Chaitanya V. Kotha, Sales Associate, Ms. Babita, and Jewelry Expert, Mr. Vishwanathan. We will be requesting you to kindly keep your mics on mute. This is to maintain your privacy. And when we open for questions, you may unmute so that we can ask you questions. And we will try to take them up before we close. Now, may I request Ms. Babita to take up with our presentation? Over to Babita.
Thank you so much for your introduction, sir. Today I am going to present you with how to take care of your jewelry. When it's fine jewelry, there's always a sentimental reason behind every piece of your jewelry you buy, and you'll always want to wear it forever. We wish you and your jewelry will have a long and happy life together. And like all relationships, a little care, routine maintenance goes a long way to keep your life shining. Next slide, please. These guidelines on how to prolong the life of Sri Krishniah Chetty Group of Jewelers jewelry will explain you how to protect, preserve, and care for your old and new jewelry, gemstones, silver, platinum, artifacts, and collectibles commonly sold by the CKC Group of Jewelers. Most jewelry may be worn 24/7. However, remember, jewelry is made up of amongst the softest of precious metals: gold, silver, and platinum, in that order. These soft metals will scratch very easily. Minute scratches in your jewelry will dullen or take the sheen away. Therefore, one important thing we would like to say here is, it is okay to take off your jewelry. So if you go to the gym, pool, gardening, any physical work you do, or are moving house, it's okay to put your rings in a safe space. Jewelry is normally made of several links put together. Hence, with use, with stretching, some links may open up or get even too tight due to entangling. Now, let us understand how can we take care of your jewelry. Do not dump one piece of jewelry on another. Jewelry should never be tossed into a drawer or top of a dresser. We advise each piece of jewelry to be kept with some space or thin soft fabric between each piece. Clasp with use may become less strong or even become too strong. Some metals, especially if silver is present, may tarnish with time. Jewelry may be periodically cleaned at home by yourself. Simple ways are to give a gentle or firm rub of your surfaces of your jewelry every day or as often as you wear your jewelry, before and after wear. There are 4 different cleaning methods that you can use for different situations. Method 1 is a general cleaning. Can we have a video, please?
Method 1. Take a soft, dry special cloth. This is known as selvette in the jewelry field. This limb-free cloth is available at C. Krishniah Chetty Group of Jewelers across our 6 magnificent showrooms. Now gently rub the cloth over gold, silver, platinum, gemstones to bring a shine back and remove fingerprints without scratching. It does not leave any residue or deposits after cleaning. and this silhouette can be washed many times.
Method 2. Periodically cleaning of regularly used jewelry.
Method 2. For regularly used jewelry, you may use special cleaning liquids available in small containers for your dressing table. These mild, specially formulated cleaning liquids are designed for home cleaning. All you need to do is soak the jewel into the basket inside the container, brush stubborn dirt with soft brush provided, soak again, rinse in plain water, and wipe gently with the soft cloth, and your jewel will sparkle all over again.
Method 3. Using an ultrasonic cleaning at home. This compact batteries operated ultrasonic machine can easily fit on your dresser. Preferred for delicate jewelry items. Let's look at the demonstration.
Method 3. This is a compact home ultrasonic machine to frequently clean jewelry at home and make them look as good as new. Connect the unit to a power source. The power indicator light should turn on. Open the upper cover, fill it with water and the special cleaning solution provided with the machine in the ratio of 10 ml for every 70 ml of clean water. The water and solution should submerge the items but not exceed the high water mark. Running the unit without water can damage it. Gently place the item into the basket provided and close the upper cover. You may place multiple items into the basket provided space such that the jewelry do not touch each other as they may scratch due to the vibration. Press on to start cleaning the item. The working indicator light should turn on. During cleaning, the unit may make different sounds. These are perfectly normal. After 3 minutes of cleaning, stop the unit. Lift the jewelry out, examine to see if the jewel is clean. If you still see dirt, use a soft brush to gently clean the gaps and behind the gemstones and immerse the jewel back for another minute of ultrasonic cleaning. Rinse the jewel into a bowl of clean water. Shake the water out gently with a soft cloth and clean the jewel with dry soft cloth inside out. When cleaning is over, unplug the unit from the power source. Then open the cover and pour the water out into a sink. If you wish to clean your jewelry on a weekly or monthly basis, you can leave the cleaning solution as it is and reuse till the water is visibly dirty.
Method 4 is a professional cleaning. Once every 2 years, we at C. Krishniah Chetty Group of Jewelers recommend you to bring the jewelry to us for a thorough check for setting, polishing, for restringing and reconditioning of your jewelry. This may take a workshop and factory to completely inspect and carry out jobs of your jewelry or silverware to make them look as good as new to the extent possible and increase life of your jewelry. There will be cost estimate which we will let you know on receiving the jewelry or silverware. Proper storage. Most jewelry pieces come in a box or pouch from the store, which is a perfect place to keep them beside you. May store all your pieces in one jewel box. Jewelry box. Jewelry boxes has features of individually padded slots for rings, earrings, chains with pots of hanging necklaces, and bracelets are also ideal to store all jewel at one place. Jewelry pouch. It is specially designed to accommodate few pieces of jewel which are handy to carry while on tour. Silver care. To clean silver, you can get silver cleaners and a cleaner pouch, though it depends on the level of tarnish you have. Silver can easily turn on oxidized type color if it comes into contact with air rich in sulfur content, perfumes, or hand creams. Some people even have acid-rich skin, which can contribute to discoloration of silver jewelry. Next slide, please. Beware of mercury.
Sorry, Babita, to interrupt here. Anyone wants any questions, please type. There's a question answers session here. You can just drop your questions. We'll be eager to answer the questions, please. Yeah, please continue, Babita.
Common consumer products contain mercury. They are thermometers, manometers, blood pressure device, light bulbs, CFL, button cell batteries, old automobile switches and relays, some oil-based paints. When gold comes in contact with mercury, the gold surface is simply wet by mercury and the gold is not discolorized. A tiny amount of mercury can quickly swan across a gold surface, making it appear that the color has changed from gold to gray almost instantly, but the effect is superficial. You might be able to polish it or remove the amalgam layer, but this won't be easy. Are your ornaments insured? At C. Krishniah Chetty Group of Jewelers, any jewelry purchased for a value of rupees 1 lakh and above per item is covered against loss due to burglary, chain snatching, robbery using thread, violence, while in your possession or worn by you, or in residence or in bank lockers. 1 year from the date of purchase issued by the New India Assurance Company Limited. This insurance coverage is only for gold, silver, and platinum jewelry, articles studded with diamonds, or other precious stones. Bullion and coins are not covered. This insurance does not cover jewelry given for repairs, diamonds, gemstones, and sample given by clients. Which chemical can,
Babita, 1 minute. There is a question here.
yeah,
Can Vishwanath answer this question?
What about this jewelry insurance after 1 year? Yeah, this is Vishwanath
No.
here.
Vishwanath, can you put
Yeah.
diamond jewelry in boiling water and boil for 10 minutes for cleaning? I was just told this by jeweler that it's same as ultrasonic cleaning. This is a question from Shobha Egde. Can you please answer this?
Yeah. Now to talk about this, Ms. Shobha Hegde, welcome to this session. And to tell you, when you boil your diamond jewelry, in fact, diamond has an affinity to have towards oil and the body oil and grease. Over a period of time, what happens? This could get into or behind your jewel. When you boil it, it will not be easy for the dust or the dirt to come out. All you have to do is you'll have to brush them, again dip them, and then remove it out. During this process, we would suggest if the stone is loose in its setting, they may come off. It is better, always better, that you take it to a professional jeweler who can have it clean for you. I think I've answered your question.
Could I answer that as well?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir, you're always welcome.
All right. Generally, we do not advise a complete boiling of jewelry. A very hot water is not good as a practice for the simple reason that there could be weak prongs, worn out prongs with age, or there could be other gemstones. They may have diamonds. The question is actually a very good question, because the question is, can you boil diamonds? Well, we do boil diamonds to clean them. It takes a lot to destroy a diamond. However, it's not advisable for the diamonds to come in contact with metal surfaces that is very, very hot, especially when we are talking of boiling, which means that you want it to go beyond 100 degrees or 80 degrees temperature centigrade. We do not advise that. That requires a little more careful handling. Again, it depends. For example, if there are diamonds of a very high quality, For example, if you are having a diamond which is like a VVS or internally flawless or flawless diamonds, which are very fine, the chances of damage is very little. But if it were to be a VS grade stone, an SI grade stone, or an I grade stone, or if for some reason there are fractures in the stone, then we do not advise this, because this can destroy your diamond completely. In fact, we've seen sometimes that the clients do bring in very occasionally in the last several decades, we've got a few cases where clients did put it into very high boiling temperatures, and it has clouded the diamond. So therefore, we do not advise you to do that. However, cleaning it in 70 degrees temperature, which is hot for your fingers, will not disturb the diamond jewelry. I hope this has been clearly answered. If there is more questions, you can put them on the Q&A button. We will try to answer that for you. Go on, Babita. You can go forward.
Before that, there's one more question. I think we can answer that also, sir.
We could answer that.
Yeah.
The question is, what about jewelry insurance after 1 year? Yes, we provide a complimentary insurance. As Babita mentioned, we provide insurance free of cost for all pieces of jewelry that is over rupees 1 lakh value, that is purchased from any one of the Krishniah Chetty showrooms. However, it is valid for 1 year. Post 1 year, the insurance company does allow a renewal. Each client would have to approach the insurance company, and they will be able to renew the insurance for another period of 1 year. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Babita, you can continue, please.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Which chemical can dissolve gold? Aqua regia is an orangish-yellow fuming corrosive reagent in gold refining process. It is made by mixing nitric acid and hydrochloric acid in a ratio of 1:3. Which chemicals can destroy your jewelry? Chlorine and bromine, also sometimes used in pools, as well as some other common household chemicals such as bleaches, deep cleaners, detergents, solvents, etc., can and will affect carat gold, causing a condition called stress corrosion. Areas where the metal was stressed. Prongs due to beading during setting and affected more than unstressed areas. Even salt, called as sodium chloride, should be avoided, for example, at the ocean. Actually, these chemicals don't affect gold, but rather the other metals mixed in with the gold, causing the jewelry to crack and break. Take jewelry off when you are using a laundry or cleaning products. Never clean rings with bleach. We suggest that you bring these jewelries for cleaning and regular checkup to us. Other forms of damages. While these cleaners can cause damage, even everyday substances like hairsprays, perfume, or cosmetics can contain products and chemicals that will harm porous gems like pearls and turquoise. Even though soap and lotion won't hurt your gold or silver, it can cause a film residue in form, making anything you wear appear dull or dingy. Open sink precautions. The stress is uncontrollable when a piece of jewelry falls down in a sink drain. Never ever rinse or wash the jewel under a tap. If you really need to, don't forget to plug in those drain holes when working use near the sink. In likelihood, if the gems are loose in their settings, it may easily fall off and recovering it may not be possible. Always follow the safe procedure away from the sink. Use a bowl instead of water, a rubber mat, a soft brush to brush off dirt, and a soft cleaning cloth to wipe before you begin your cleaning process. Do it yourself. Repairs that you should not do yourself. Do-it-yourself style will only make matters worse because it can scratch and ruin the integrity of the piece. Even though a broken earring or necklace looks as if it can be fixed with a little craft glue, never try to repair your jewelry on your own. You may run you may run into a serious risk of damaging the integrity of the piece, bending the setting prongs, chipping the stone. Exposing the metal to harsh chemicals and household products may take away the sheen of the metal. Bring in your repair jewel, for we know it's originally constructed and would be the expert on how to repair it properly. We value you as much as we value our jewelry. We have extensive expertise when it comes to evaluating your jewelry. You can take our word for it as we assist government departments and private to evaluate jewelry. On prior appointment, we offer valuation services for sale, family settlements, foreign travel, estate planning, fair market values for purchase. All valuations are charged at 0.5% of the assessed value. Now, avail this service for free with Beat the COVID Blue offer, which is valid till 30th June 2020. Here we have few tips to share. Jewelry should be put on last and taken off first. The second tip is jewelry isn't meant to be worn 24/7. Give it a break and show some love to your other pieces of jewelry you own. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Babita. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. Now we are open for the question and answer session. Mr. Lokesh, we would like to take questions now, as we can get it through the chat, through the box, or we can have people unmuting their mics and then talking to us.
Yeah,
Well,
this,
I do
yeah.
have two questions here. I thought I would take the opportunity of answering. One question is why perfumes should not be sprayed close to jewelry. Perfumes, as Babita just mentioned, the jewelry is worn last after you dress up, and it is removed first after the event that you complete. So that the jewelry, there are two reasons for this. The jewelry remains in your jewel boxes safely. You do not keep them lying on your dressing tables or in your rooms or in the house, lying around where other people are moving around. And you may not, it may not always happen, but if there's a chance of something being lost. Therefore, you wear them last after all the dressing is done. Second is that you remove them first, so that you first put it back into its appropriate places, into the boxes, into the safe place, so that you do not misplace them. Now, why the perfumes should be first sprayed before you put on the jewelry is because perfumes are of various kinds. Do remember, perfumes are made around the world by different brands. It could have chemicals that are harmful. It may be good sometimes, it may not be good sometimes, but most often they would have certain kinds of chemicals which, to our experience, we have found that even when we do experimentation within our factories, in our workshops, we try to spray different perfumes, and we find that it is sometimes damaging the color or exposing a certain joint, or it could discolor a porous material. For example, there was a turquoise, there could be a coral, there could be a pearl. These are very porous gemstones. They can be affected by these chemicals. That is why, Krishniah Chetty we are always selective of what we offer to our clients. I'll come to that a little later, maybe in another webinar, because that's another subject by itself. So we have always advised that perfumes or any kind of chemicals should not be sprayed on the jewelry or close to the jewelry. The other question that I see here, do you charge for cleaning and fixing old jewelry that is not bought from Krishniah Chetty? We have been in business now for about 150 years. We have always recognized jewelry made anywhere in the world is as precious. We handle all of them with equally good care. They could be bought from Krishniah Chetty. They may not be bought from Krishniah Chetty. But if you are a client and you wish to take our services, we are there for you. So we do undertake restoration of jewelry. We remake jewelry that is old. We repair the jewelry. We are the only, actually, we are amongst the very few jewelers in India, for sure, and even around the world, that have a full-fledged setup to handle from valuation, like Babita explained, from different kinds of valuation that we do. We have facilities to handcraft jewelry. We have facilities with lasers. We have facilities with 3D printing. We have facilities with CAD, with CAM, computer-aided manufacture. We have casting machines. So that we have a lot of facilities with us. These allow us to handle almost all the kinds of repairs and restoration of jewelry. All that we may ask you is to give us a little time appropriate to the kind of work. Some jewelry is very delicate, especially if it is 50 years, 100 years old. There could be thin links, there could be worn out links. The gemstones itself may be very unique. They may not be possible to be replaced. So therefore we take little time, but most often we do not say no to use, helping restore or repair jewelry that is not bought from us, or it has been bought from us. So that's something that we do very, very much all through the year for many, many decades. We have never said no on that. There is another question. I hope that is a clear answer for everybody. You're welcome to ask another question if you wish to. There are quite a few questions which I would like to take up. Vishwanath, can I take it up?
Please, you can go.
Do we have to always keep the jewelry in the box provided by the jeweler? Well, jewelers have different kinds of boxes that we deliver with the jewel. For example, let's say you have bought something that has a piece of jewel that has wax in it. Now, anything that has wax in it, and if there is any silver content in it, there is a likelihood of some tarnish that happens, especially if diamonds are encased, at the back with silver and then encased in gold or in platinum. There is a likelihood of a tarnish happening. So we, for example, give you boxes that have evolved over the period of time. Those of you who are very old clients of ours would see that we used to give you a red box earlier with the blue velvet inside. Now, those boxes were made in cottage industries many years ago. I mean, I'm talking 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Some of them did not have very controlled method of glues that they used to put inside the velvet to paste the velvet onto the box. So what we used to find is that they were not environmentally friendly glues. So therefore that used to give certain tarnish trouble. Then what we did was we moved it away to organized manufacture over the last 2 decades. And where now we have vegetable, oils and environmentally friendly glues. So these are less prone to tarnish. So therefore, these boxes are important. We too take a lot of effort to select the kind of boxes, the kind of material that goes into the boxes. A box is not a box, it's not a box, it's not a box. Each box has its own pluses and minuses. So therefore, we do believe that a box that is supplied by the jeweler, if he is selective about how he gets his supply of boxes, it is important to maintain in the boxes. We, for example, if you had something with wax, we give you a box which has a white cotton cloth inside. That cotton absorbs, moisture, and it will not allow tarnish. So these are little things that we do. Therefore, boxes and packaging is not only a beautiful thing to gift and look at, but it also has a quality of preservation. The question that we see next, why did you say not to wear jewelry 24/7? Do you mean for special jewels only, not regular chain bangle, right? Okay. I think jewelry needs care. Jewelry needs to be breathing, especially if you look at pearls. They need the touch of human skin. You know, some of these gemstones have come from living organisms. For example, pearls, for example, corals. They come from plants and animals. Now they are very much required. They came from living beings, and therefore they need to be in touch with living beings. So therefore your skin is one of the most beautiful places for these gemstones to be on. They're very comfortable. If you keep them on a hard surface, they're very uncomfortable. They all have, you know, believe it or not, diamonds to emeralds to rubies to corals to pearls, turquoise, tanzanites, whatever. They all love people. I mean, they're all living. They came from earth like us. So they like it that way. So what I say is that when you sleep in the night, when you wear bangles, if you sleep on the bangle, they can go out of shape. If the shape is, if it goes out of shape, if there is a stone setting in it, the stone settings can come loose, the prongs can get expanded. Therefore, we say that try not to put your jewelry on when you sleep. But there are, of course, we know people who wear earrings and nose screws and never ever remove them for 5-10 years. We've seen it. And sometimes in very extreme cases, we've had to actually, they've not removed the bangles, for example, and their sizes have changed. They can't remove the bangles. We are actually having to cut open those bangles from their hands. So that also does happen. But we generally say, don't wear them 24/7, but you can wear them quite a lot. Keep in mind, there's only one thing that I would look at is examine your piece of jewelry. All the jewelry need not be all very heavy and very, very, thick gold. Many of the pieces that are modern and contemporary are light in weight. They're beautiful. They're delicate. Such things need a little extra care. In the olden days, like 20, 30, 40 years ago, people were buying jewelry by weight. Today, they buy for beauty of the piece of jewelry. Therefore, it is important to handle that in the changed circumstances. Today, when you buy a lightweight or a jewel that is delicately made, because the younger generation wants very finely made, beautiful jewelry that has thin, finish, and such things need a lot of care. I hope I hope we are clear in our answers. The other question is, valuation of jewelry is done for all purposes. Yes, we do almost for all purposes. We've done for family settlements if they wish to distribute jewelry between brothers and sisters and of the family or partners. Sometimes we've done jewelry for foreign travel. We do various kinds of valuations. It takes between 1-2 hours to 1 day. Sometimes we take even 2 days because some people have large collection of jewelry. We take a lot of time. We test the gold. We do a lot of work. And we charge a very small fee for it. We only charge 0.5% of the value of the jewelry. And that 0.5 actually goes into the Krishniah Chetty Foundation, which is the charitable causes. Now we support, today we support over 1,000 children in government schools. So we support healthcare, we support education. So all your valuation fees do not come to us. It actually 100% of it goes towards charity. Until June 30th, under the Beat the COVID Blues, as we have a program till end of June, we do not charge the valuation fee as well. It's just a little consideration that we have. Those people who have time, if they wish to come to us for valuations, we do them free of cost. And of course, we still spend the same time and the quality of our work, but we do it free of cost until June 30th. Can I continue with other questions, Vishwanath, or do you want to take up something?
Sir, I will answer a few questions here.
Yeah.
Now, there's one question which says, how to clean platinum jewelry as my ring has become dull? See, over a period of time, this platinum that we are talking about develops a kind of uh, tarnish. This is known as patina. This is soft, dull appearance that comes over your platinum. Yes, you can also clean your platinum using a cleaning solution. Suppose you want them to remain white, you want them to look brighter. You can always use the cleaning solution and have them dip, brushed, and wipe them clean so that they will sparkle again to you. But the actual beauty of a platinum is as it ages over a period of time because of the soft, enchanting glow that you will see on the jewelry. I hope it is clear. And the next question, uh, a diamond close setting jewelry, can it be cleaned by ourselves? Any tip on the same? When we talk about a close setting jewel, yes, the diamond close setting jewelry is usually in a 22 karat gold. It's a karat gold where it is 9/1 and the rest of it is going to be an alloy. The diamonds is studded into this jewelry where you can clean it yourself, no problem. But as long as you see there is no damage to the stone, usually when you drop a jewel down, diamonds are hard but they are not tough. So they may impact, or the impact of the gold and the diamond could create a small gap where there can be a seepage when you try to do a cleaning by yourself. It is preferable that you bring your jewelry so that we inspect it and then give you an advice on it. Next one. Can you recommend the way to keep jewelry in a safe in the bank, keeping in mind that the space is limited there and have to put jewelry together? I had problems in the joints breaking in the necklace because to storage problem. Well, this is Mrs. Shobha Hegde. Well, ma'am, now to tell you what happens is the box that you are trying to put in your jewelry should probably be a little box, because big boxes do not get into the bank lockers, right? When you select a box to put it into the locker, you need to have a box where you can spread it out properly. It has got to be laid inside the box. There should be no overlapping. So ensure that you have such a kind of box. Usually to put all your jewelry into one box, we would suggest that you have a jewelry box. As Babita had showed you the box, if you have a small box that can easily fit into your lockers, you can place all your jewelry into it safely and then have it stored. The next one is, please suggest some tips to handle the jewelry for traveling outside functions.
Vishwanath, can I add to what you said on the
please.
The previous question where the client asked, how do I do it in bank lockers? Yes,
please.
We do at Krishniah Chetty. We do offer you certain boxes that you can put your jewelry in and use those bank lockers. They're called locker boxes. So they're little slim and long, and they go into lockers. So this is something that is an interesting offer that we have. So you can probably request us, or you can shop for that online at ckcjewelers.com. They're very simple boxes with sometimes they have a little lock, sometimes they don't have a lock, but they go into lockers. There's one thing that I would like to state on this. There was a couple of email questions that we received over the last 2 days. And I would like to answer that. One particular question that somebody asked me was, how do we maintain Kundan jewelry? Okay, that was a very nice question. Kundan jewelry is jewelry that has wax inside, as I mentioned. These wax are different grades of wax. And most often, this wax does tend to tarnish jewelry. Number one. Number two, for some reason, there has been what we have been watching over the last few years, I think about 7 years, 5, 6 years. There's something that's happened in the environment, in the air quality that we are all living in. A personal example of mine, in our family, we have a necklace which is more than 80 years old. Never ever tarnished the entire 80 years. I mean, it's just the last year or so when we removed the piece from the cupboards, we found there was a patina. Now, it never tarnished all these years, but it tarnished just now. We believe, I do not know, we are still in the process of understanding why, but there is a reason, maybe because of something in the air. There could be something that we are all unaware of, certain chemicals or pollution or whatever, that's affecting some parts of our jewelry. But if that happens, we are here for you. All you need to do is bring it over, and we will do whatever we can to bring the shine back onto the jewelry. The other point that I'd like to mention here in the bank lockers is that, as I said, gems and jewelry need air. Bank lockers are always in a very tight, secure environment. There is no air circulation. The lockers are made out of MS, that is mild steel, but not out of chromium plated stainless steel. So therefore, there's a lot of rust that happens in these bank lockers. That has an effect on the jewelry that you keep for long periods in the bank lockers. So therefore, it is important that you have a good muslin cloth that you wrap your jewelry, then you keep it inside. But you must go to the bank every month at least and take them out, air them out, bring them home. I know it's all a risk factor that you might have, but you have to air them out. Jewelry is meant, they're living. Believe me, jewelry are living things. You have to take care of them. This is just a thought that I would leave with you.
And to add up a little to that, sir, that you had spoken about, usually people tend to put this pearls, opals, everything into the airtight box and store it into the bank lockers, which should never be done. This is because this, as Dr. Vinod said, they need to be aerated. These gems have water content in them. And if you were to put them or dehydrate them, these gems tend to develop a kind of fine cracks on them. And this is called as crazing. And this particular gem cannot be used again because it loses its beauty. Hence, it is always advisable that you remove your jewel out and wear them for some time and then air it and then put it back into your lockers.
A very good point, Vishwanath, that you mentioned. If you go into our showrooms, the Krishniah Chetty showrooms, sometimes on our counters and the desk displays, you would be finding a small little bowl of water. Because we have air-conditioned spaces and there are lighting, we have this water to maintain a certain humidity in the displays. This maintains emeralds, opals, like Vishwanath said. So we would request you also to have a little bit of bowl, a small bowl. It's no more than a very, very 1 inch by 2 inch bowl with a little water inside your cupboards where the jewelry is kept. It keeps a certain humidity. It helps the jewelry to breathe.
So we go to
There's
the next
another question here. Please suggest some tips to handle the jewelry for traveling outstation functions. Yes, it depends on where you're traveling. If you're traveling by road, by all means, you could carry them in your jewel locker boxes. You can carry them safely. If you're carrying them by air, you can take them out by your hand baggage, but never check them in. If you're traveling overseas, you will need a valuation certificate that would be declared at the customs, and the customs would then stamp them and give you a copy. They will retain a copy that will be with photographs of each piece that you take out of the country. And when you come back to the country, you verify with the customs officer that it is the same piece that you're bringing, the same weight, the same picture. That way they know that you took it out and you brought it back and there is no duty leviable. If you don't do that, there is a likelihood the customs officer may say, you have to pay duty on that, which is your own piece of jewelry that you took out, but they may say import duty is leviable. And today import duty could be anywhere between 12% to 29%. So it's a very expensive matter. So that's one thing. How do we know that pearl and coral is genuine? Okay, well, it's not very difficult because a genuine coral and a genuine pearl has a luster, it has a sheen, it has a weight, which is very different from factory-made corals or red-colored beads. Or sometimes, especially in Himalayan countries like Nepal, you have a lot of people selling beads, coral beads, and they're barrel-shaped beads, and they're available to you at a throwaway price. I think they're like 1/10 of the price that you would normally pay. Most of them are colored coral, they crushed up wasted coral, make them into a paste, put them together and polish them and sell them. But they are not really ocean coral. In fact, when we traveled to Nepal, we used to, with friends, they would say, Vinod, how is corals coming in a mountainous country? It should come from the ocean. But not many people understand. They think it's corals in Nepal is very, very good, but actually it's not. So be careful when you buy these corals at unreasonably cheap prices. Today, corals are one of the most expensive, not because of anything, but because environmentally friendly harvesting of corals is important. So Krishniah Chetty will not sell something that is environmentally damaged. So therefore, there are only certain classes of corals that are importable into India and around the world as well. So only those will be imported and those will be set into your jewelry. So therefore, corals there is a charm about it, but they will, if you look at it very closely with an examination with either a microscope or a loupe, a magnifying glass, you will find little grains which are unique to corals. But of course, somebody can manufacture something like that, but it is unlikely. Most often, you'll find little grains, and there's a texture which is unique to corals. For pearls, there are multiple kinds of pearls, but by and large, two categories I would speak. One is a real pearl. If you're looking for an astrological purpose, something that you want goodness to happen to you, it's recommended by astrology, then you would only use a real pearl, which is a non-nucleated pearl, which is made by nature entirely. The Japanese pearls and the Chinese pearls, which are cultured, have got inside a little bead and only a coating of pearl. Those are lighter in weight, and they are also under X-ray. You will find there's a layer inside of a bead, whereas for real pearls, you will find the X-rays will show you an opacity right through. These are the ways we distinguish a real pearl, and corals also have their own tests from a specific gravity as well as refractive indexes. Can we wear diamond finger ring while washing vessels? Does the soap cause a problem? If it is a very mild soap, it will not. Unlikely today you are going to have any trouble. Soaps do not cause much. In fact, now with COVID, we all know soaps are good. So therefore, jewelry also, there is no issue with soaps. But when you're washing vessels, be careful if you knock the vessels on the hard surfaces with soft gemstones, you could spoil the gemstones. You can scratch them, especially if they're emeralds, rubies, corals, pearls, turquoise, opals. These are all very soft stones. Why are stem behind the stud here hangings are generally thick, specifically for kids? What do you suggest so that their holes do not get expanded, can be regularly used? Yes, this is especially in old jewelry, the stem thickness was quite a lot. It used to be made, in those days with a thick stem. Today we do not. We make them with very much thinner stems. However, if you have a pair of earrings like that, bring them over. I mean, I think we are amongst the few jewelers who can remove that old stem and put in a thin English screw stem or a thin new 22 karat stem or an 18 karat stem. And believe it or not, we have laser soldering machines which does not damage your close setting jewelry. This is something that we have, not many enterprises have. So you're welcome to bring it over and we will remodel them. Then you don't have to have your children's ear holes made bigger because it's delicate. How does one differentiate South Sea pearls from freshwater pearls? Good question. Let me explain to everybody who may not know this, Mr. Jacob George, you are a little more evolved client. I'll explain for the benefit of everybody. South Sea pearls are by and large 8 millimeters and above in size. They come from mollusk, which is rather large in size. They live in the deep oceans. They don't live in the shallow oceans. So you will find them in the Indian and the Pacific Oceans. So you will find them, that's the deeper ocean. So there you will find large mollusks. The body is very large, so the mother is very large, so you get large pearls. They are 8 mm, going all the way up to 22 mm. And very, very rarely it can go to 24 millimeters in diameter. They are rather large, they're very heavy. These are South Sea pearls. Now, these pearls are unique because they come from this oyster called Maxima punctata, which is rather big. If they can be pink, they could be white, they could be off-white. And if you get to the Tahitian waters, then it can be a black-lipped oyster, which it will be a gray or a black. These are South Sea pearls. They are cultured. All South Sea pearls are cultured. No South Sea pearls would be natural. They would be a small a bead, a pearl bead taken out from the mantle of another material and inserted into the body and incubate in the oyster, and you get out a pearl after between 1 and 2 years of incubation, and harvest is done after 2 years. The longer the harvest, the more thicker the pearl. The shorter the harvest, Chinese pearls, for example, by and large are the thinnest of pearl layers. So they don't last a long time. If you were to go into history, if you looked at the Duchess of Windsor, for example, the Basra pearls, for example, they are very thick nacre pearls. The Duchess of Windsor is the lady, the British English lady who holds the auction records for the highest value of jewelry sold. Many of her pearls came from India, and many of them came from the port of Basra. The port of Basra is in the Middle East. Now there is no more. Now they've begun to clean up the water and again start pearl farming, but it's not really yet as much beautiful as it was in the 19th century and the 20th century. Now it was with all the wars and the pollution of the oil, etc., etc. There is pearl farming has reduced greatly. So the natural pearls are thick nacres. The freshwater pearls come from freshwater, not from seawater, not salt water. So saltwater natural pearls versus the freshwater natural pearls. The freshwater being shallow will have thinner nacre. The sea pearls would be thicker nacre, and the real pearls are the thickest nacre, and the cultured pearls are the thinnest nacre. Just a simple overview of pearls. But that itself is a subject that would take a webinar, but that would give you a good understanding.
Yes, to tell you, we will be talking more about this gem care and all these queries in the next session that will be happening on the 18th. So please keep your questions also prepared when you join us next week. And so you can continue now.
Thank you, Vishwanath. There are two interesting questions. Please differentiate between natural versus lab-made diamonds. Well, it's a bigger subject. As Vishwanath said now, this is the first part of the 2-part series that we have designed. The next Thursday, Vishwanath, next Thursday, is it?
Sir, it is next Thursday, the 18th.
And at 5 o'clock again.
At 5 o'clock again. Okay.
So at 5 o'clock next Thursday, we would be able to talk a little more about these natural versus lab-made diamonds. A very interesting subject. We will speak with you about that. We'll hope to. We have a little more time for that. There's another one from an anonymous attendee. Okay, can laser hallmarking of diamonds be faked? Yes. The answer is yes. Laser marking of a diamond is you take a machine and you laser mark a diamond. Yes. So therefore, anyone who has a machine, although machine is expensive, yes, it is possible to be marked in any which way that you be. So therefore, in fact, if you remember, Krishniah Chetty has been offering, and we have been doing for a large number of clients, we're putting a little initial of the client's name or names of the husband and wife, the couple who's getting married. For example, if it is an S and a B, we will put an S and B on the girdle of the diamond. It's laser marking. Sometimes we have an engagement date. Sometimes we have a marriage date. Sometimes we have a 60th birthday date, a 25th anniversary date. So we are able to do that. We are amongst, again, a few people who can do that in-house. We don't send the diamonds out. So these are things that we do. Whether that can be faked, well, unscrupulous practices are existing, but I believe that I don't think this audience would be much mattering on that matter. There's a one more question. They say that we should keep polki jewelry in paper. Can we put them on cotton? Yes, paper is good, cotton is good. Both are good. They're both very good material because they do not tarnish the jewelry. It's good to keep that in muslin cloth, cotton cloth, paper, yes, absorbent paper, yes.
And
we are at about 5:58. We have 2 minutes.
yes,
If there's any further questions, is there any questions on any other places?
Excuse me, sir, can to add up a little on your engraving.
Yeah.
Now at Krishniah Chetty, we have this special program called as the laser persona, where we have this personalized messages engraved on your diamonds. As we said, we could write your name. It could be a small short message, say from dad with love or love so and so. But all this is possible only when the diamonds are in unset condition. Before the setting, that can be done, provided the girdle of the diamond that we are trying to talk about should be medium to slightly thick. If that is the case, yes, we will be able to engrave it and certainly give it to you as a remembrance.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
we do not want you to have a very thick girdle or a very thin girdle. We grade our diamonds for certain very clear specification. Very small diamonds have little less space, little bigger diamonds have little more space. That's what Vishwanath was telling you. So we can, subject to the possibility. And again, if it is a diamond that can take an inscription, for example, a round diamond can easily take an inscription. If it is a square diamond, it could be a pear-shaped diamond, it could be marquise diamonds, it could be heart-shaped diamonds. They would have a slightly different challenge, but we are able to do it because we know where to position those inscriptions without where it is visible, and yet without having too many letters on it. So it depends. We will take a decision along with our clients as to how we do that for each particular case.
The other question was, can you put laser initials on solitaire diamonds? Yes, we can. We can put them and we'll be able to help you out on that. So now as we come to the end of this webinar, since there are no more questions, it was in fact a great enlightening evening. And I'm sure that many of your questions has been answered. And we have enhanced our knowledge on the care for gem and jewelry from the experts, none other than the Managing Director of C. Krishniah Chetty Group of Jewelers, Dr. Vinod Haigri. It was indeed great, and hope that we all meet again on the next part of the webinar on the 18th June, the next Thursday. Till then, take care. Thank you.